Hey everybody, Tracy Brown here. I guess we're going to call this car time counseling, skills training, because that's where I guess I might be some days doing this with y'all. So I'm happy to be here. Happy Friday. I kind of call this, I had a mind calling this Fun Friday, just because it's Friday, right? And maybe you have some things, projects that have gone good for you, or you're kind of hoping for some good things over the weekend, or to relax or have some fun. Hopefully not work too hard, but I understand if you got to get some work done on the weekend. I hear you. I'm going to be doing a little work tomorrow, which is Saturday, and then be off totally on Friday, or Sunday, I'm sorry. So that's the plan. But let's see here what I was going to say. So I don't think I got any questions from y'all this week, which is totally fine. You guys have a life, and you're not tied down to my group. But I wanted to offer that couple announcements real quick, and then I might think of something to talk about, or I'll just sign off and with my encouragement for your happy dance this week. So, all right. So I wanted to think about. I had this thought in my mind. If you had 4 hours to do whatever you want to do, non-work related, no projects, no clients, no working in or on your business, or in your maybe you're an associate in a practice, maybe you're have a some counseling and some part-time gig of something else consulting wise. None of that. You're not going to read a book. You're not going to try to educate yourself more. If you had 4 hours to do whatever you wanted to do, what would you do? So I want you to think about that wee factor, like what, or like that. Man, this would be so good. And I hope you know the answer to that question, because if you don't, you're going to get to be a burned out bear. I don't want that. I don't want that for you. I've been there so many times that I've learned my lesson finally after almost 13 years of doing this is you got to have some space in your brain to do something else and be silly, or to be fully just unresponsible if possible. And I know that's hard when maybe you have more than one job, and on top of that you might have a kid or relationships you're trying to show up for, those kind of things. I know that's difficult. So that might require that you have a hand if possible, if you have one. It might require, if there's nowhere to get away, but you have a little cash, and some support with kids or pets or whatever for care, that if you can't travel far but you really just want to get out, then go to a local hotel with a pool and hang out there for a while and watch TV and eat snacks, that you want to eat, and have the meals you want to have, or whatever's going on. Or go to a show, like a play or a musical, or and have a nice dinner. Still hot and sunny here, so there's not much outside playing. I'm going to take that back. I'm probably going to work on a garden tomorrow, probably tomorrow and Sunday. Mostly, probably not much tomorrow. Tomorrow's a little bit house catching up day and doing some work. Still working on some a project I'm trying to really fully get ironed out and finish up, which I'm going to talk about in a second. And then Sunday is kind of my rest, be fully present. Anyway, sorry about that, froze a little. But I really just want you to think about, like, if you had some extra time, not extra time, but we're able to create that time in your life, what would you do with it? And the reason I'm having this conversation with you all is because sometimes we get some time. Like, I've learned how to, I have a little more time, not every week, but some weeks of my life. And my default is to fill it with more creating stuff and projects and what do people want, and administrating more on Facebook groups and doing more stuff. And that's not bad, but sometimes it's just really not what we need. It's really not necessary. So that's what I'm trying to say, is that, like, if you know what you need and you can feel it in your body, that's what needs to happen when you start to get going in your practice, because you will have the time eventually. I would never want to see any of you set up a private practice, for example, or coaching practice, or whatever, or working for somebody else where you're seeing everybody's different. But there was a time that my max was like 25, 30 would kill me. Now it's like 20 is like I can do it for a couple weeks, but I start to feel really like everybody's stuff is starting to feel not quite as clear in my brain, and I don't like that feeling. And so that means that possibly, even if you're doing this while your kids are at school, and a random afternoon where you have a babysitter at night, it's important to there's going to be a limit of how many one-on-one hours you can do and not get burnt out. So you'll have time in your life where you got your admin done, you got your billing done, you've seen your clients. Maybe you're even working on some, maybe you're writing a book at some point in your life, in your career, or you're partnering with some other kind of thing, whatever. It's really easy to fill up some of that time that you get back when your practice gets more. And I want to basically caution you all not to do that very often. So this is what today was about, is if you had 4 hours, what would you do for fun, for chill, to feel freer, for your brain to stop synapsing, basically, whatever it is you need. So this is what today's little pep talk, connecting with you, is about, just from the practice perspective. No big tips today. I hope you're practicing the things I've been suggesting, but no more doing today. We're gonna wind things down a little bit, hopefully. And then lastly, I finally did it, you guys. I am so pumped. I finally finished yesterday. When our clients feel like they have to lose weight or exercise or whatever to be healthy, free gift, role-playing guide for us RDs to being coaches. I'm going to put the link in this group right after I finish this audio or video with you all. And I hope you like it and you enjoy it. And there'll be some emails. Some of you already know some of the information because you've already done the training with me. But there will be a survey about more what you want more about. So for those of you who are taking my training, I have some stuff coming up for you too. That's the next step. That's part 2 that I'm working on. So part 1, I got a free gift going, and just really encouraging y'all to use it. Ask me questions about it. This is what this group is for, to get people practicing if you don't have clients yet, to practice on other people and feel what it feels like to do that, do a different style, and to do a different way of inquiry and unpacking that maybe you weren't trying to do, or that you know how to do but you just haven't practiced enough yet, or to feel really, really comfortable and confident. This is what this guide was for, is to teach you how, or at least get you going, and talk about the other 10,000 things we can talk about that I have in a course coming up, that a lot of you have already been in, but some of you haven't. This is all new to you. But I'm just as excited about it as the day that I got it going, a year ago. So anyway, that's all good stuff. So the part 2 is going to be different tiers of levels of what's accessible to you for your individual questions beyond this group. I'm going to create something kind of fun and really just easy, not something that's a huge time commitment, unless you want. And of course, I got 2 other things to say about that. Is one option, and one very likely option is going to happen, is a very accessible at whatever level you want to be at. Some options to get support and about everything, whether it's client case consult things, different strategies and skills, business stuff, you're creating stuff. I'm going to be really open book about how I share, how to create stuff. I'm hoping to have the VA I have, who's been so amazing, in there to share how she helps me and how she keeps me on track and not all over the place, and getting stuff done. I'm really motivated, but she's able to say okay, did you do that part, did you do that part, all kinds of little stuff like that, really going through the back end and seeing things. So I'm rambling a lot, but I'm pretty pumped. This is what happens when I get excited. And the other part is that getting all this done for you all and having different layers and levels of accessibility for helping you get as confident as possible. That's what I care about. The more confident practitioners are, and this is why I'm passionate about this. Very, from a personal perspective, you all just knowing about non-diet counseling skills and health at every size and intuitive eating, honestly makes you already, not that we're competing anything, but cream of the crop in terms of knowing how to do actually health and wellness focused, actually helping people. And that matters a lot to me because unfortunately, on the dietitian end, we don't have the best name. Seriously, people think that we're all orthorexic, food Nazis, basically, and don't trust us that much, to be perfectly honest. or some do, but maybe they shouldn't trust them all. And so I want to like help erase that notion and put more and more dietitians out there where people are like, yeah, she was great, or he was great, and that was awesome. And I'm so glad I saw that. I love my dietitian. We want more of that. And you don't have to be an eating disorder dietitian to have that. You can use all these counseling skills with people that come to you. Maybe you're going to be a diabetic educator. Maybe you're going to work with kids. Maybe you're going to do with athletes. You can use all this skill set for the different populations. And I think that's the way, I love to see that's the way this all goes down over as time goes by. The other part of it is that, you know, we could do a lot of harm to people, especially people who are very vulnerable. And not that we mean to. It's just that it takes a lot of skill and a lot of, I mean, honestly, like, it's painful looking at your stuff when you screw up. I've had sessions where it's like, oh man, like I was so in my own agenda there, or, you know, all kinds of stuff that I could think of. Like, I could have done a better job if I'd been more present, if I had, you know, if I hadn't been so tired maybe, or, you know, I didn't really know how to handle this many different combinations of stuff. And I think that I want to eliminate more and more of that too. You know, it's hard. There's a difference when clients aren't ready to work with us versus, and they don't know how to articulate that, and you're not quite sure what's really going on. I want you to know what's going on. If you can tell they're really not ready, you know when to push, you know when to let the gas off, you know when to like really hold them accountable without it being shaming. I want you all to know how to do that, and that's what everything I put out there is for. So anyway, I'm hoping this was good for you guys. I hope you have a great weekend. And sorry, waving at somebody I know. Hope you have a great weekend. What else can I tell you? I think that's it. Have a great weekend. I'm going to put a little something fun out there tomorrow for y'all to play with. I have to look up my list. Whether we're going to talk about something, a skill building thing. I think so. I think we're going to switch gears tomorrow and give you something to think about. Because it is Saturday, I'm not quite on total I'm out yet kind of mode. But Sunday you won't hear from me because I'll be doing something else, like gardening or basketball or something. Not sure. We'll see. Anyway, we've had a lot of fun talking to y'all today. Hope you're doing great. I'll talk to you soon.